So today I'm gonna demonstrate on how to do this look, which is a leather jacket, and it has detail on the collar with fur fabric, and then at the bottom the women wearing a skirt with latex shiny PVC fabric. But now I'm starting with the skin color first, and I'm using E50 for the lighter skin color first, and after that I will use E51 for the shading, and then later you can add extra shading. It always takes some time to build the skin's colors, even so with the fabric texture it's the same way, so you cannot really do it just by color it once. Sometimes you have to repeat it several times to build the tension and the shading. Also, sometimes I always let it dry to see how it looks like, and then if I feel that is not enough color or not enough shading, then I will add more. So the tricky part on using Copic color is basically when you color something, if you stop in the middle there will be a mark on it, so make sure that if you have to color on any long surface, try to not stopping in the middle, because when you do there will be a mark and it will be look patchy and the skin's color won't be smooth. So make sure when you have to stop, so make sure you stop at the edge, and also do it lightly, not pressing your Copic, because when you press too much it will be really hard to control the color. And for the hairlines, I normally mix 2 colors or even 3 colors, so the hair won't look flat. So here I use gray and also soft brown color for the hair. And maybe just to be safe, if you want to mix 2 colors, you can just try on another paper first. So if you like the result, then you can try on the real illustrations. And after coloring the hair, we're gonna start with the fabric texture. When you're coloring a fur, you have to use the tip of the brush, the small point, and you have to try to follow the angle, and then with the thin lines do it several times, covering the whole surface. And then by doing this you will get the right texture, and there will be like a tiny lines, a tiny mark, so it will look like a fur. So I sometimes do it twice. I let it dry, and then sometimes I try to cover it again to give more tension on the lines. And after that we continue with the leather jacket. So I always like to do the outline first. It's easier for me to color them when I have a outline before I color the inside part, and for me it will be more neat if I do that, even though it's just one same Copic color for the whole jacket, but I keep it that way to make me easier and to make it look more neat. So make the outline on all of the part of the clothes, and then you can start coloring the inside part. And then, as I have mentioned before, try not to stop in the middle, so that way you don't leave any mark unless it's intentionally. So to get the right texture for a biker jacket like this, you definitely need more tools than just a Copic marker. So here we're gonna use pencil color, white pencil color to be more specific, because the highlights or the folding part of the jacket will have like a slightly white cast, so that white pencil will give an effect of a biker jacket or a leather jacket. So after you color the whole black jacket, you can move on to the skirt or even to the shoes. So I start with the shoes here. It's the same color. And then after you finishing the shoes, you can go back to the top, could fill the inside of the clothes, inside of the jacket, and then also you can start with the skirt. So with the Copic marker, when it's still wet, you can always still control the color, but when it's dry, there will be a mark or there will be a patchy texture on the illustration. So make sure when it's still wet, try to fix everything that you can, and then try to follow the angle or the silhouette or the texture of the clothes. So when it has a folded part, then you need to add more lines. And then as you can see here, I try to color back and forth, tried not to stopping because I don't want to leave a mark in the middle of the skirt. So keep in mind that when it's still wet, you can do it several times to make sure that you block the whole color, and try to color the whole thing in one go to avoid any patchy texture. So keep going, try to color the whole thing, and then after this prepare the white pencil color, and we can start to add more texture on the fur. So make sure your pencil is really sharp because we need to get a small pointy texture, and then we can define the detail of the jacket. So basically you still can see even though you color the whole thing with black marker, because you have the base illustration before, you still can see the lines, and on that lines we can cover it with the white pencil to give more tension and define lines. So after you define the whole detail of the jacket, you can start giving the letter effect with the white pencil again, but this time you have to lay it flat and then give a little press, so you will have like a white cast on the paper. So try to follow the reference so you know where to add the white cast of the detail of the leather jacket, because when you do it without any reference of a leather jacket, it will be hard to imagine where to add the white cast or the shading. So it's always good to have any reference of all the looks that we are making. And since it is a pencil, you still can always erase it with a normal eraser if you made a mistake, or if you made too much highlight or shadow. So it's always good to keep your eraser with you. Now continue with the shoes. There will be like a bling bling texture on some part of the shoes, so that shiny bling texture, later I will use white gel pen because it is really shiny. You cannot really use white pencil for a very shiny effect. So here on the detail of the zipper or the metal texture, I will use the gel pen to get the texture. I'm not gonna use silver gel pen because it looks way too much, and somehow the white gel pen will look more suitable for the zipper texture here on the illustration. And then on the latex part, it is a very shiny and reflecting effect in the middle of the skirt. So on this part I use the gel pen, but I rub it with my hand while it's still wet, and when you rub it that way you can see there is a shiny texture. But make sure you do it while it's still wet, because when it's dry it will be just a complete flat white texture like on the zipper part. So after finishing with the highlighter, and then you can fill in the bling bling details on the shoes, which is by making small dots all over the surface using the same thing, using the white gel pen. And then you can also define the detail of the shoes with the white pencil.